Greetings, it is I, Foolish. Welcome to the Hurt Locker. I will be your sales associate today. I am excited. I get to do a viewer question. I was asked a question by a viewer. Judith, come on down. Your question. She asked, will there ever be an electronic vehicle, I'm paraphrasing, will there ever be an electronic vehicle available to the masses for less than $20,000? Also, it has to be more than a 1 or 2 seater. Now, I did some research. The Ford Mach-E kind of looks like the Mustang. It's reminiscent of the Mustang. Goes for like $40K. 4 seats. They both fold down to give you more cargo space in the trunk. The Hyundai Kona. It's an SUV. I would say an SUV for those on the smaller scale. I always look to see if a vehicle is big and friendly, barbarian friendly, if you want to put it that way. This is it's a smaller vehicle, but listen, it's kind of hard to get from an electronic vehicle right now. I'm sure they're working on it, but to get the amount of torque to haul a lot of people or a lot of weight, that's going to take some doing. Now, I know that there's, I think Canoe makes a box truck, and I have seen some commercial vehicles say that they are, electric vehicles. They run on electricity. But I don't know if those were specially commissioned. We're talking about available to the masses, the unwashed masses. Now, I know that they've been phasing out the coal industry and the oil. That's not some kind of weird revolutionary thing. That's been happening over the last few years. And the market is just simply going green. I mean, in probably 20 years, it won't even be weird. All the resistance to green technology, I think, will just be a memory. We'll just be laughing about it in 20 years if we're still here. I also looked up, I had a news alert for, green tech to answer this question. And I also saw, yesterday Politico had an article that said Biden had a $40 billion stash over at the Department of Energy to develop green tech. So I just wanted to get some, I don't want to look like a complete dumbass, only when it's funny. So Judith, I'm about to answer your question right now. Let's just see if Morgan has anything to say on whether they will have widely marketed electronic vehicles that are under 20. I mean, are they still selling cars under 20? I haven't bought a car in 13 years. We've been rocking the same vehicles for the last 13 years. We haven't even looked at any other vehicles, really. I was trying to look around, but then, of course, I ended up on Cycle Trader, like I do. It's what I do. And I was looking for old Harley trikes because I don't want to drive. I don't want to ride my two-wheeler. I think a trike would be safer for me in my advanced years, and plus, I've had a hip replacement, so I'm a new rider. I don't want to. I would just feel better with a trike. Anyway, that had nothing to do with the question, and that's exactly my point. I got distracted by looking at old trikes, so shame on me. So I did not do my current market research on vehicles, but Morgan may know something that I do not. So let's see what Morgan has to say about it. I'm going to say 3 cards. What is the... Just tell us about the situation of the e-cars. I mean, eventually it will be that they're mass marketed and they're, under 20 grand, if that's what the market, or at least on par with other vehicles that are non-electric. I think the cheapest one you can get, maybe 20 grand now. Let's just do 3 cards. Let's say... Tell us whether there will be, 20 grand mass marketed electric vehicles that can, that actually behave like, what we're really asking here is that will behave like vehicles currently on the market. Cargo space, more than 1 or 2 passengers, the amount of torque it would require to get that moving. All right, 10 of Pence. Yo. What is that? 10 of Wands reversed and 3 of Pence reversed. Well. All right, then. I'm just going to call this Judith's question. Okay, 10 of Pence, 10 1, reverse, and 3 of Pence, reverse. Reversed it did. This is so exciting, Judith. When I saw your question, I was so excited that I for sure wanted to make a big fat deal out of you. You and your question. It's so exciting. My first viewer question. Okay, long-term prosperity is 10 of Pentacles. Long-term prosperity, material success, affluence, especially if it's family related, established wealth, great. Maybe some of the oligarchs in this nation will start investing in green tech like they did oil. Wouldn't that be nice? Long-standing, successful, well-established family or organization, right? Maybe the old players get a new game. That wouldn't be bad. I mean, it would be a lot less harmful, right? Legacy, passing down assets from one generation to the next. Building upon an established, successful enterprise. Right, that's what I'm saying. Hi, sweetie. Hey, puppy. He's been weird. Please don't come down here and destroy everything. Hey, don't destroy everything, please. Hey, 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 hey. It's all right. Shh. We're all right. It's okay. Let's get this back behind here so you don't destroy that. Baby, what? What's the matter? Here, honey. Do you want to lay down in this? We all right? Baby, we're all right. We're all right, honey. It's okay. You're all right, honey. Good boy. My man is ate up. All right, 10 of Wands. Weighed down, burdened. Too many projects or activities. Losing a grip, too much to handle. Unclear path, losing sight of ultimate goal. Time to let go of the burden. Delegate. The burden of oil, maybe. I could see that though, like, I mean, people always resist change, and then, I mean, we do it in our lives, and we do it on a mass scale. We're like, oh, we don't want that, it's gonna be, and then like 3 years later, it's like nobody ever had like everybody forgets they even had a problem with it. We're so funny as a species. Okay. Interesting. Not getting enough support or input from others. Over-dependence on others to complete a project. Mediocre work, need more skill. Here's what I think. Now, if I hadn't seen that news thing, green is still fairly new, and there's thousands of different positions within that field. And they hadn't even scratched the surface yet, from people who make solar panels all the way to people who make electric cars to people who install the chargers, you know, the recharging stations, to I mean, all that mess. All right, all that mess. Hopefully, because it sounds like companies are down, okay? They want to get on the green wagon, all right? It's definitely a burden. You're almost talking about a whole new industry, basically. Then you're talking about not having enough resources or skills. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they said that 40 billion stash hasn't been touched. It's just sitting there waiting. So I'm hoping with the new administration, they will start putting it to use. I think that would be, right? Good boy. That would be, and I'm going to guess, just my guess, I would say 5 to 10 years. Because already you're talking about, the Nissan Leaf, 35 to 40K. The more people buy these, the more, it's like economies of scale. Making 1,000 is probably, you know, in the beginning, more expensive than making 10,000 after this model's been out for 5 years or so. So I want to say 5 to 10 years, people are going to look at gas-powered vehicles the way that people look at cars from like the 70s, that before fuel injection. I definitely don't see any shows like Graveyard Cars, which is my all-time favorite That's my all-time favorite automotive show. Because I'm a Mopar girl. Like, people would be arguing Ford versus Chevy, and I'm just like, Mopar, dude. Like, Mopar. Don't drag me in this mess. I'm third party when it comes to vehicles, domestic vehicles, and muscle cars, certainly. Although I appreciate the fastback Mustang, but I've just always been more of a Dodge Charger girl myself. Anyway, it could be that the vehicles we drive now will get phased out, and it'll be it's not just an economic thing. It's also a cultural thing, right? So I'm hoping the more green tech gets out there, people get trained. Next thing you know, your neighbor works on solar panels. You're starting to know people that are getting in the industry, and then you're starting to socialize with them. And then it doesn't seem so strange. Also, I feel like, and this is just this has nothing to do with well, I mean, it could, but there's going to be a lot of people from like the coal industry that are out of work now. They're already out of work. They've been out of work. Coal's not coming back. Everybody knows that. It was never going to come back. Like, once you can't unring a bell, if they start implementing this DOE money, they could very well create jobs for people that have been sitting around waiting for a new industry to come to their town. So that's my analysis. 5 to 10 years, electric cars are going to be commonplace. It's going to be even for the unwashed masses like you and I. It's going to be a little bit of a hump because it's still new. Training, learning from mistakes, development. It's going to be less niche and less exclusive. There's going to be more companies than just one or two. And as everything starts going green, cars are going to have to go green. I mean, they're a main emitter of yucky business. I had a lot of fun doing this. I appreciate you. I love the fact that you asked me a question. And I will see you at another time.